Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the MiG-19PT sitting at 10.0 battle rating. The Supersonic patch has finally started for real, and there is a lot of supersonic jets flying around, especially MiG-19s and the F-100s. Of course, the Javelin is not truly supersonic, is it? It's quite a slow plane, but it does have missiles, so there is that. But the American teams, what I've seen so far, are winning the majority of matches, and that can make it quite challenging to fly the MiG-19, to get results in it, because you're often one of the last few people left. If you take a little bit of altitude and fly it, you know, as it should be flown, at least that's what I think. The plane is a monster in the vertical. But and it is quite effective, but there is a few downsides to this plane as well. Let's get into the speeds first. This is in indicated airspeed without Mach. The maximum speed of this plane at sea level without WEP is 1142 and with WEP 1160. At 4500 meters still go up to 892 without WEP and 935 with WEP. And finally at 6500 meters still go up to 782 without WEP and 905 with WEP. Now this is of course in indicated airspeed, so they are quite a bit apart from true airspeed speeds. But I always fly with indicated airspeeds, and all my reviews are in indicated airspeed, so I want to keep things consistent and comparable. The top speed in a dive is 1199 before she redlines and 1320 before she rips apart. The control stiffening starts at 750, only slightly, and it becomes more severe at 1000 in the roll rate, and the elevator starts to stiffen up between 900 and 1000 quite a bit, so you got to be careful in a dive there. The stall speed in the plane is quite good with 145 kilometers an hour, and if we go to firepower, it's good. It has two 30mm NR30 cannons. I used air target belt for that, though. These guns have 70 rounds per gun. This is quite bad, I have to say. I mean, and they are rapid firing as well, so you run through them in no time, and this is quite unfortunate. You also have two AIM Sidewinder copies, re-engineered from a stock missile Sidewinder that was stuck in a Chinese Sabre, and they only have two. And compared to the F-100, which has four and which has four 20mm with 200 rounds per gun, the ammo load is quite bad on this plane. The firepower is good though. But the real strength of the MiG-19 lies in the performance. The acceleration in a straight line is fantastic. In a dive it's excellent. The energy retention in the horizontal is fantastic, and in the vertical excellent to fantastic as well. It is absolutely fantastic in the vertical. This is added to by the climb rate, which is also absolutely magnificent. It is brilliant in the vertical. And that's how you got to use it, preferably. In a straight line, the F-100 will outspeed you, as I managed to not land this plane as I should have. This match was over, but it didn't end. And I think that has to do something with the map conditions, but we had everybody dead on the enemy team, but the tickets didn't run. And to get some ground targets, I decided to land it. Fuck that up. Anyway, we had it won. I had 3 kills. It was a good match. The turn time in this plane is decent, with flaps even making it almost good, with 775, and that is only compared to the F-100 and the Javelin, because you know, the earlier jets definitely outturned this plane. These planes were built for speed, and the turning was a bit secondary when it comes to that, so most earlier jets, 9.0 jets, are better than this one. Unfortunately, it is very easy to avoid these missiles. I have not managed to get one on a target yet. I did not have the fortune to see a plane tunnel vision on somebody and just keep flying straight to have my missile run into his ass. It hasn't happened yet. I haven't had that luck yet. But oh well, it will happen one day soon, hopefully. Maybe on my F100 review. Let's hope so. The overheating in this plane is present with web usage, but it does cool off easily, so I don't see it as a major problem. Durability is decent. It can take a hit or two. Yeah, overall this plane is a boom and zoom, boom and runner. It does that job very well, especially in the vertical. Stall fighting is very nice in this plane. Stall speed is good and the performance there is excellent. What you got to be aware of though, of course, is that people have missiles, and if you get too slow in the climb, it's more easy for the missile to hit you. So be aware of that. The plane can also energy fight quite good. It is definitely not a turn fighter, especially not against anything that is a later tier, or that is anything that is an earlier tier jet. So you against the F100s and the Javelins, this thing can turn. It turns better than both of those, but not against any other sabers and stuff like that. So yeah, be careful of that. What I really find problematic with the supersonic jets right now is this: that effect when you breach the sound barrier. When you come from a dive and you breach it very quickly, then it is a nice effect, and you're like, wow, that's nice, looks good, sounds nice, it's all right. But when you're in a straight line, you're following somebody, and you're slowly coming up to that supersonic boom, that effect, then it can be on your screen for a minute and a half, sometimes even more if you stay in the range. And it stays in the range from 0.95 is where it starts, to about 0.05, 105 Mach when it disappears again. But I mean, the closer you get to 1.00 Mach, the bigger this thing will be. And sometimes you are behind an opponent and you come into shooting range with this big white ball over your plane and over the enemy plane, thus not making you see him correctly and making the kill rather difficult. So although I like the idea of the making it visual, this sonic boom, it can be quite difficult when you're right behind an enemy and this thing comes up and it messes up your aim. That didn't mess up my aim, that was my own getting used to the 30s. But yeah, I have mixed feelings about this visual sonic boom effect. I think they should, I don't know, maybe gameplay wise it should be removed. Maybe that is controversial, maybe you guys like it, but I think it messes up some situations, and it is, maybe it's rare, I don't know, but it has happened to me quite a bit, that I've got this big white thing in my screen that completely messes up my aim on a plane, and that is unfortunate and unnecessary. So either they make it faster or they make the limit of it a little bit, the window of it a little bit smaller, not from 0.95 to 1.05. That's a big window. Anyway, let's see if we can get this guy. I only have 34 rounds left, and it is easy to miss with these two cannons, as you saw. That was pretty close, but yeah, I missed him. You gotta be on target. And we're gonna try, I'm pretty close here. Come on. Yes! Here we go. Now, 6 minutes of fuel. Only 2 cannon rounds left and no missiles. We gotta go back to base and we gotta land. We had 3 people left against 2 opponents in this match, and those 2 guys both managed to crash. One on the airfield and one while going after ground targets. And I'm in trouble here. I'm low, I'm slow, I've got my gear out. I wanted to land and get attacked by a guy. Unfortunate. I thought that he might extend here, because you know the airfield will kill you. So I thought he will run through and disappear on the other side for a while, and maybe I can land in the meantime. But no, no. Missile killed on the airfield, and that guy was willing to die for it. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the MiG-19 is definitely a very interesting plane. It will be outsped in a straight line by the F-100, but it is definitely a fast plane against anything else, and it is fantastic in the vertical. It's unbeaten in the vertical, and if you go in and boom and zooming, boom and running, then this plane will serve you very well. It is very difficult right now because the American teams are pretty strong. I have a far below 50% win rate on this thing, and the flying of the MiG-19 right now is difficult. But it is a fun plane, and I quite enjoy it. There is a low ammo load though on the cannons, and you only have 2 missiles, and your competitors have 4 missiles, and they have a way bigger ammo load. So there is that. So this is a precision weapon. It's a scalpel, or how do you say that? You have to be sharp on this. You have to use your ammo wisely. You have to shoot in short bursts, and the more you use it, the better you will get. I also started to become better and better quite rapidly in the plane as I started to get a few matches under my belt, and yeah, so it is an enjoyable plane, and I like to fly in the vertical and fight with stall maneuvers and stuff like that, and this plane can definitely do that. It is dangerous though with the missiles. I got killed once by a missile by somebody who came up after me, but I was extending in the vertical, of course, 2 kilometers, 2.5, and then the rocket came. Yeah, so there is that, and once you get too slow you can't avoid that rocket very easily anymore. When you have speed though, these missiles are easily avoidable, and they basically function to get you to make a maneuver and to slow you down. That is the main thing that you use these missiles for. And of course, sometimes you will get somebody who is tunnel visioned on somebody and who won't notice the missile. But you do get a warning that a missile has been fired. So, I mean, if you get that warning, it's probably on you. And you gotta make an evasive. But I quite like this plane. We're going into the F-100 next, and we'll see how that plane is, and see why so many people are flying that thing. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.